the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and you may not know, I'm a huge hip-hop head, baby. I grew up on hip-hop, and I love it to death. I love her. You know what that is. Anyway, here at South by Southwest, they have a pop-up from the Museum of Graffiti where they're celebrating the art of hip-hop. If you don't know, it's the 50th anniversary since its inception, and the chef himself is in the building. I'm talking Raekwon from Wu-Tang. Let's go talk to him. Does looking at it take you back to the moments where you actually were being photographed by Danny?
Listen, it just takes me back to those days. That day. Like these are monumental pictures that will be here for the next 60, 70 years, you know? He's a dope photographer. You can tell he's charismatic. He got a dope quality about him as a photographer and as a hip hop artist. Like, you can actually see the time. Like, it looks like 95 right there.
Right.
That picture, oh man, it's just dope.
I mean, when you see something like this so iconic, does it take you back to that conversation that you guys were having? And actually, Danny, don't be shy. Get over here.
Danny's in the building.
Y'all talked about it a little bit, but what was that like, that conversation? Like, I want to do a Last Supper. I mean, which is a big thing. I mean, it's almost blasphemous, some would say, but it was a big deal. What was that decision like? What was that conversation like?
It was just two brothers just trying to make a mark in the culture, you know? Him being a photographer, him being so creative at what his vision was of us was so important in hip hop, because one thing about us as hip hop fans, we look at everything. We look at the pictures, we look at the clothes, we look at the style, all of that has been introduced in a way today where it's 1,000 times bigger. Mm-hmm. And hip hop is considered one of the biggest genres across the world. So you gotta remember, we was kids. You know, Danny, we was the same age. And we was just trying to be heard and seen in the greatest way. And he probably didn't know that he was gonna be so influential in the photographer world and become this big icon of photography and become this big mogul, right, as well as myself. So it just takes me back to when we first started, man.
Do you remember the conversation, Danny, when he was like, hey, we're doing the Last Supper, bada boom, bada bing.
Bada bang, bang, bang. I remember it more than them because they've gone through a lot of different stuff. Like, to me, this is my special, you know, like I remember this very vividly. And I do remember him coming up with the ideas and telling me and giving me a little bit of like the direction. And then all I needed was just a couple of like suggestions. Then I would take it from there, right? Then I'll go and produce and make the logo, do the set design and all that stuff. And then they show up, they come through, and they're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Right? So, but then I take it a little further, like the lighting, you know, the angles, the camera, the film. That was part of.
I mean, it's an iconic image.
And there was no Photoshop. There's no Photoshop on any of these, right? And then you see in this one came up. This was the first time the Wu symbol was turned into the bat signal. I did that first. Like, so
you did that.
I did that first. Well, Rizza, I approved it. Rizza approved the concept. Right. You know what I mean? But I was the first person to do it. But if you see, this is the photograph, right? Yeah. So there's no Photoshop in 1993. So to accomplish that, I had to do 2 pictures, right? I went and shot the picture of the city, right? You see the Twin Towers, and then I took a picture of the symbol painted on a black background, and then sandwiched the negatives, and then this is 2 negatives printed in 1 picture. That's what we had. That's what people don't understand, yo.
That's the Picasso. That's Mr. Picasso talking.
Now you're doing AI shit. Like, now you next level, but you already thinking next level back in the day.
People don't understand that, like, there was no Photoshop for this. You have a combination of shutter speed, slow shutter speed. That's why the candles look like that.
Right.
You have cross process, which was putting the chemicals on the wrong chemicals, putting the films on the wrong chemicals so they could come out like that. And then you have Vaseline on the lens. So all of these
Vaseline on the lens. What that mean? I don't know that photographer.
Vaseline on the lens.
We got to school.
No,
us.
yeah. But you
gotta
put
school
grease
us.
on the
This is
side.
blurry. You gotta grease it to make it blurry.
All right, so we're gonna do that right here. Nah, just kidding.
This is dope.
Listen, all right, it's been 50 years of hip hop.
Yes.
Like, how does it feel for both of y'all to be such icons, have a mark in 5 decades? That's a long time to be classics, to be legends. How does that feel?
You know what? I'm still dreaming. I'm still in the dream. It's just I'm getting the opportunity to live out what I love, you know? And I think that when you love something so much, it becomes a part of you. And I think for us, it's just growing up inside hip hop and seeing where it was at then to where it's at now. It's a phenomenal situation. It's like a lot of people didn't know that this was going to take place. So for us to be a part of it, to see so many kids after us, like how she said, 5 generations. We've been in 3 generations of hip hop, not
Right,
5.
30,
Yeah.
30
You know,
of them,
we
okay?
30.
1993
We 30.
is when 36 Chambers came out, okay?
We the 3 generations. We ain't the 5.
But y'all made a mark in the 5, okay?
There you go. Just being a part of it, but it's still an amazing thing to see. Like, I
So
still
seeing
feel young
the new
looking at it.
generations now, is there anything that you're like, man, I wish I would have had that back in the day, like my flow would have been different or our beats would have been different, anything that you're like, damn, I wish I had that technology?
I mean, the only thing I would have probably appreciated more is the technology. I mean, shout out to the young generation doing their thing, but the technology, the way that it gives you that extra boost of being able to get things accomplished, that's what I wish we had back then. But you know what? I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy where we landed at because we were able to see it from the ground up. We live in what we love to do. You gotta passionize things that you love and make it your reality. So I tell everybody, use this. Use it. It's there for you. You could be what you want. We're living proof of it, you know?
I want to add to that if it wasn't for hip hop, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Me too.
You know, I want to add that. So in the 50 years, like looking at it now, I'm like, wow, like, you know, would I have been given a chance? Would rock and roll have given me a chance? I'm Latino and salsa was not even looking for me. You know what I mean? So like, would I have been where I'm at today? But I grew up with hip hop, right? And so in the reflecting in the growth of hip hop, I have to say that I'm very thankful for, you know, all my brothers that looked out for me and the hip hop culture that enriched me and gave me a different perspective on life. And I wouldn't be the man that I am today. So
I second
wanted
that
to add
motion. I second that motion.
All right, let's have a little bit of fun though. Okay, you the chef, so what you cooking in the kitchen?
Oh my God.
I need to know what you
My
throw down
kitchen, my kitchen is a bistro kitchen.
Okay.
Number one, you get the best of everything. I got a documentary that I'm working on. It's a powerful documentary. It's called The Purple Tape Files. I'm so excited to share this with you guys
Hold on, I want to know why the purple tape was purple.
because it was that
Royalty?
mindset. It was that mind frame that made us say, make the tape purple. And just the combination of the pictures, the moment, the vibe, that made that album become The Purple Tape, which actually is a nickname to the real name of the album, which is Only Built for Cuban Links. See what I'm saying? The pictures, the whole movement made me say, I need to change this tape into a different color, which wound up becoming a purple tape. So, you know, just making a film about that, taking y'all through that, that's one thing. The music, me being on Patreon, I'm on Patreon now. You know, the metaverse.
okay.
I am starting to explore these different things to engage more with my fans. The same way how he said, you know, he's paying attention to AI. He's doing different things. We are blending with the times because we help design the times. And that's a dope thing. Shout out to everybody that's watching because this is real right here.
It's real.
This is real.
All right, so when is the Drake remix on Wu-Tang Forever coming out?
Ooh!
We've been hearing about it for a while. When's this
I
happening?
mean, yo, Drake, you heard her. I mean, they looking for it, so
We've been
we're gonna
hearing
see.
about it.
We're gonna see. And Drake is my boy, so you just threw it in the air. You
All right,
threw it in
so
the air.
your favorite verse from 36 Chambers. Hit it. Come on.
My favorite verse was 36
Come on,
Chambers.
come on. You on the spot. Lights
I
out.
would definitely say my favorite verse is probably chess boxing. Chess boxing, that song, the way that beat was just rocking, and trust me, chess boxing, it does its thing all over the world.
Yeah.
That record right there, it does something for people all over the world.
Unfortunately,
So
we don't have rights to
that's-
play that, but
Don't
you
worry,
know
don't
the
worry.
song. Go to
Y'all know the
Spotify.
record.
Y'all know the record.
Yeah, but I would definitely say chess boxing.
And as far as the new talent that's coming out, right? We talked about 5 generations. We got a new generation coming up. Who's your favorite right now? Who you watching?
You know what? I don't have a particular favorite. I just love the fact that everybody is out there expressing themselves in their music and doing it to the fullest. So I love the fact that the young generation is doing their thing now. Do your thing. Take care of your family. Take care of yourselves. If this is what motivates you to be great and you become successful, I'm down for all of them. I don't just got one. I'm sorry. Just don't. Not one. I represent them all. Those are all our little brothers and sisters.
All right, Wu-Tang forever.
Yes.
We're here with Raekwon, Danny
Yes.
Hastings. And before we go, I just want to point out, Dallas Cowboys, baby. I'm from Dallas. Let's go!
Yo! Dallas, what's up? Straighten up.